Oh, hell yeah. 3, 2, 1, tubes, let's go. Okay. Yeah, today I just thought I'd hop on for a few minutes and just give a little shout out to Cyrax. I still haven't heard from you, buddy. You know you're my best buddy, and I'd just love to hear from you. I'd love for you to watch my videos and, let me know what you think of them, but you won't. Regardless, a lot of people, Cyrax, he's always claimed he's this E-racer, whatever the E stands for before it. I guess because he plays Super Mario Kart or something and thinks that that's equivalent to be a NASCAR driver. Well, buddy, I mean, we're talking about a guy, he's never even driven a car. Never. Yet he claims to be this big E-racer. He's got this set up. I don't know how much Sally spent on it for him, but he's got this damn setup, this racing rig, and it's the damn funniest thing. He's got this steering wheel set up in front of his, I don't know, Xbox or I don't know what he plays, and got this damn steering wheel set up there. He's got a chair. I wish I had the picture available, but I'd have to go online and search it out. Yeah, he's got this chair sitting there he sits in, and then he's got damn suspenders. He wanted a seatbelt because, he might fall off and get hurt because he's Sally's baby boy. He's just a little guy. He might fall off of it and get hurt. So he's got this damn... He took a pair of suspenders, a pair of rainbow-colored suspenders, and goddamn strapped them on like as if they were a racing seatbelt harness. I'm sure you all have seen it. You know what I'm talking about. If you know Cyrax, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, he looks at that as being the same as actually driving a car, or even better, actually even driving a race car, a NASCAR on a track. He considers those things equal, and yet he's never even driven a car, never had a license, never went anywhere alone. He does not go anywhere alone. Always has to have Sally or Ed with him, as he's just a frightened little mouse. Yeah, but where the hell was I even going with this? I don't know. Just something I was thinking of today, If he did drive, what kind of vehicle would he drive? I got an example here of what I think if he drove, what would he drive? Let's see. Let me pull it up here. Give me a sec. There we go. That's it. That's the Cyrax video, or Cyrax vehicle right there, buddy. Check it out. That's exactly what he would drive if he did have a license. Yep. I could just see him now cruising around in that, trying to lure kids over to it, That's it. That's his type of vehicle. I think I screwed something up there for a minute, but I'm back. Yeah, that's his type of vehicle. That's what our boy would be driving. He'd be driving some shit like that, trying to get little kids over to his van. So we know that's what he's about. Yep. Let me pull up a better example. Look at him. Look at him. Yeah, if you ever see the white van, you know, you've probably heard the rumors. Stay away from the white van because you never know what's inside it. It could be this creep. He could be in there. Yep, that's him. He, God, where am I going with this, Stan? I don't know, man. I just fucking hate him. Just fucking hate him. I don't know why. I don't know why. I'm obsessed with this little goon. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But I could just see him driving around in something like that. A sick little freak. Now, on the other hand, our boy King Cobra, you know, he gets a lot of attention too. But, you know, I think Cobes, you know, he's not a sicko like Cyrax. I had a picture here of what I think he would drive. And now, of course, I can't find it. I found it. If Cobes drove, he doesn't drive either. You know, I don't know what it is, but a lot of young men these days, a lot of young people, back when I turned 16, 17, 18, that was the thing. You got your license, you got that first car, man. You know, my first car was a Nova, Chevy Nova. You know, different time, I guess. But yeah, that was a big thing back then. You know, you always wanted that car, you always wanted that license. I can understand kind of with Cyrax, you know, he's got those googly eyes. He's got a mental problem. He probably couldn't pass the driver's test because of you know, his vision. His vision's messed up. Physically does not have coordination. You know, so there probably are reasons there, and it's probably a good thing. I'll get back to Cobra here in a minute, but it's probably a good thing that he doesn't drive. You know, I'm all over the place with this, I know. Yeah, but anyways, getting back to Cobra. You know, it's a good thing Cobra doesn't drive either. King Cobra GFS. But if Cobra did drive, I picture him in something like that. Because he's kind of a cool guy, you know. He'd have him, you know, first we'd want to make sure he would kick the alcohol problem. Because, damn, boy, you don't need to be driving out there and fucking the way you drink. We would need to make sure he would be clean, you know, clean and not out there drinking and driving, because that's a definite no-no. But let's just say, you know, in another world, Josh is a little bit more responsible and stuff, not drinking as heavy. I could see him driving something like this here, an old El Camino, you know, late 70s El Camino, not in perfect shape, you know, little ding here, a little bit of rust there, not fully restored, but then again, not a junk pile. You know, I picture him driving something like that. I used to have a buddy that kind of somewhat resembled a cleaned up King Cobra, cleaned up version, and he drove a car similar to this. You know, yeah, but I could just see that's what he would drive, because he's better than Cyrax. You hear me, Cyrax? He's better than you. Even Chris Chan drives. As whacked out as he is, even Chris Chan drives. I'm not going to bother looking up his car, but, you know, there's video. I remember seeing a video of him driving. I know people's going to scream at me, use his proper pronouns. You know, if he hadn't did what he did to his mom, I would use his proper pronouns. But he lost the respect. Oh, God. I'm going into a totally different topic. yeah, but even Chris Chan drives. He used to drive some sort of van, I believe, and then he also, I think more recently, he's driving something like maybe a Chevy Cruze or something. Seems like I've seen some sort of smaller Chevy. Seems like I remember seeing pictures of him since he got released from jail. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong about that, but I do know he does have a license and does drive. Yeah, but getting back to Cyrax, the reason we're here today, if that little freak drove, a mobile goblin is a dangerous goblin. I've always said that. People give him hell saying, why doesn't he get out and get a job? He needs to get out and get a job. He needs a car. He needs to learn to drive. No, he don't need none of that. No. You put him behind the wheel of a car. I showed that picture of the free candy van, and that's kind of a joking meme. It's always went around, oh, watch out for the white van, the creepy white van. But yeah, you don't want Cyrax driving. If he was able to drive and go places alone, there is absolutely no doubt in my mind that he would try and snatch up a little girl or a little boy. He has no hangups. He would. There's no doubt. He'd be stalking some girl. He would. I am 100% certain. There's no doubt. If he went to Sally today and said, I want to get my license, and maybe I shouldn't put this ideal out there. He may see this and it may click in his head. He'd go to Sally about getting his license. They'd help him. He'd go out, man. First kid he'd see. He'd be stalking out in front of some school. First kid he'd see, he'd try and pick her up. I joke around a lot on here, but I'm not joking about that. I just know what he's like. You hear me, boy? You stay in that fucking attic. You stay in that attic. Because if I ever see you, no, I'm not going to go there. Because you're a danger to society. You are a perfect. Now I'm getting mad. You are a perfect picture of the failures of our society. If in a perfect society, people like you would be identified from a very young age and would be given the help they need to hopefully straighten them out a little bit. But instead, we just shove weirdos like you off to live in your grandma's basement. And now look at you. You're absolutely a danger to society. There's no doubt in my mind what you are. Now I've lost track what the hell I'm even doing here. Jesus. What time is it? Going on 8. A friend of mine told me a few days ago he was going to need a ride somewhere Wednesday morning. I never heard from him since. So I don't know what the hell to do now. Jesus. What's wrong with me? I just rattle on, don't I? But speaking of cars and getting your license and young people driving, one more thing before I check off here. Found this picture of me when I was much younger. I used to have a Jeep Wrangler. That was the favorite car I've ever owned. I owned it for probably like about 10 years. I bought it brand new. Drove it for about 10 years, and then sadly I put a couple 100,000 miles on it, and the engine ended up blocking up. But God, I had so much fun in that car. Ran around with different, well, I don't want to go there. Girls. But anyways, loved the car, loved it. Just had so much fun in it. But I found this picture of me in it back, I don't know how old I would have been here. Much younger. much younger, much better days. Happier person, making good money back then. Yep, much younger. Yeah, I wish it showed more of the vehicle. And that's about the only picture I can find remaining of it. See, girl, I know that. I'm not trying to say. I knew her back in those days, and I still have contact with her. She might have pictures of it, but that's a totally different issue. Yeah, love to have another Jeep one of these days. It's just they've gotten so damn expensive. You know, they've gotten so expensive. It's unreal. I mean, even if you went out to try and buy a used one, an older used one, it's just crazy. But anyways, regardless, it is what it is, tubes. I've sat here and yacked away about stupid nonsense again. I don't know what's next. Maybe take some duct tape and put it over that little goblin's mouth the next time he starts yakking his shit. What can be done about him? I'm going to throw that out before I leave. What is the end game here? What is the end game with this little bastard? I know that I think I've discussed it before. There's a lot of us out there that want to see him, put in jail. Want to see him put in jail, and I just don't see that happening. Sadly enough, he's really not. He's right on the edge, breaking laws, but never to the point that the police are going to get involved. They've got better things, better things to do, I guess, in their mind. They've got better things to do. There's some of us that, like I say, that want to see him in jail. There's some of us that want to see him just where he is right now, making videos. Because these people do like me. They make response videos. They see him as something funny. As a play toy, something funny to mess around with, kind of like how Daniel Larson was. Then there's some that are actually making money through this. I'm not going to call out any names. I'm not saying that's wrong, but there are some people, they've gotten monetized and they get the donations and get paid from YouTube, and they're just all making fun. All their videos are just making fun of this one little guy. And, hey, more power to them, I guess. But yeah, they don't want to see him. They don't want to see him put in jail because he's their little cash cow. They don't want to see him yanked away. And I can understand that, from a business standpoint. I don't know what I want to see happen to him. Oh, I know what I want to see happen to him. And then there's the homeless saga. A lot of people speculate that, his grandma that he lives with, Sally, she's getting older. You can look through the videos just of her from a few years ago to today. She's aged a lot, just over a few years. She's not going to be around long. I hate to say that. I'm not sitting here saying, oh, I hope she dies. I'm not saying that. I'm just being realistic. That old lady's not going to be around long, and he has no one else to go to. Ed's not going to stick around. Ed might stick around for just a little bit, but he'll get fed up with that shit quick. He'll be out of there. Ed'll just move on. He ain't going to stick around and put up with that little dingbat. And I hope Ed takes the little dog with him. Little rugrat. But yeah, our boy, he's in a mess. And he doesn't even see it. He denies it. He is in a mess. He denies it. He refuses to admit it. I mean, I'm sure I'm always, the stuff I do, I'm always running across very large cardboard boxes. I could maybe make him up like a cardboard house or something and put him in my backyard and wire cameras up to it, and we can have the Cyrax show. Wouldn't that be entertaining? Yeah. I don't know. Whatever happens to him happens. I don't know. I don't know. He's just going to end up on the streets. You wait. Because he's not stable enough to be put in a group home. He would be getting into fights. He'd get thrown out. And I don't think he's got the smarts to live on the streets. Daniel Larson, that guy, he was a crazy little fucker. But he had the intelligence to, make it on the streets because he was homeless off and on for a long time there. And he knew how to hustle things, how to, right or wrong. He knew how to give food, how to take care of himself, And, that's a whole other issue. Everyone's saying, oh, he's going to be in jail for 65 years. Don't believe that. He'll be. I don't see him getting out right away. Maybe about 2 years, he'll be back out. I don't know what'll become of him. What does become of these people? What'll become of me? Jeez, I don't know. I'm rambling on here, and I don't want to shut up, but I need to shut up. So I'm going to hit this stop recording button, whether I want to or not. And I'll be back on some other time. Later.